Healing isn't linear. The pain we carry and the peace we can choose. Welcome back to Loving Them Without Losing You. I'm your host, Christina Fox, and I am so grateful that you are here with me today. Today, let's talk about healing. Not the kind of healing we often imagine, where one day we wake up and everything finally feels okay. I'm talking about real healing, the kind that comes in waves. The kind that feels like you've finally made peace with your past, only for a memory, a song, a place, or a phone call to bring every emotion rushing back. Healing isn't linear, and that doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human. Many of us who have loved someone struggling with addiction didn't just experience pain because of addiction. Addiction often uncovered wounds that were already there. Maybe you grew up believing love had to be earned. Maybe you learned that keeping everyone else happy was your responsibility. Maybe you learned to stay quiet to keep the peace. Maybe you learned that your needs came last. Those lessons don't just disappear when we become adults. They become the way we see ourselves, the way we love, the way we parent, the way we choose relationships, and sometimes the reason we stay in situations that continue hurting us. One of the greatest acts of healing is unlearning. Unlearning the beliefs that told us we weren't enough, that we had to look and act a certain way to be accepted. Unlearning the idea that sacrifice equals love. Unlearning the belief that boundaries make us selfish. Because those weren't truths. Those beliefs may or may not have been taught to us to protect us as children. They do not serve our highest good as adults. One thing I've learned on my own healing journey is that empathy has two parts. The first part is learning to step into another person's shoes. Maybe your parent hurt you because they carried wounds they never healed. Maybe your loved one struggling with addiction has experienced trauma you may never fully understand. Maybe they weren't taught healthy coping skills. Maybe they were simply surviving the only way they knew how. Understanding that doesn't erase what happened, but it can soften our hearts. The second part of empathy is turning that same compassion toward ourselves. Because while someone else's pain may explain their behavior, it never means you deserved it. You didn't deserve the harshness, the lies, the manipulation. You didn't deserve being ignored, to go through the emotional, physical, or mental abuse. You didn't deserve to become responsible for someone else's healing or to take on their pain. Understanding why someone hurt you is not the same as believing you deserve to be hurt. Those are two completely different things. I think forgiveness is misunderstood. People often think forgiveness means pretending it didn't happen, or inviting someone back into your life exactly as they were. I don't believe that's what forgiveness is. I believe forgiveness also has two parts. The first is releasing the weight you have been carrying so someone else's actions no longer control your peace. And the second is forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself for what you didn't know, for the boundaries you didn't set, for the years you spent believing everything was your fault, for staying too long, for trying too hard, for believing you could save someone who wasn't ready to save themselves. Sometimes, the hardest person to forgive is ourselves. One of the most beautiful things about healing is realizing this. Your loved one doesn't have to heal first for you to begin healing. So many families put their own lives on hold waiting for recovery, for someone else. But what if that day doesn't come for a while? Or what if it never comes? Does that mean you never get to live?
No.
Your healing matters too. Here is something I hope you'll carry with you moving forward. When you begin healing yourself, you begin changing generations. Your children watch. Your grandchildren watch. The people around you watch. When they see someone choosing healthy boundaries, choosing self-respect, choosing peace, they learn that healing is possible. Sometimes the greatest gift we leave behind isn't money. It isn't success. It's showing the next generation that pain doesn't have to be passed down. It can end with us. Healing isn't about becoming the person you were before you were hurt. It's about becoming someone who no longer lets that hurt define who they are. Some days will feel easy, and some you'll cry over things you thought you had already healed from. And that's okay. Healing moves in waves. Every wave teaches us something. Every wave brings us closer to peace. I thank you for spending this time with me today. If this episode spoke to your heart, please share it with someone who may need the reminder that healing isn't a straight line and that they don't have to wait for someone else to change before they begin changing their own life. Until next time, take care of yourself, protect your peace, and remember, healing isn't choosing between compassion for them or compassion for yourself. Healing is finally realizing you deserve both. You can love them without losing you. Take care.